YouTube is the only social platform that compounds traffic, trust, and conversions inside the same loop, and that makes it the only marketing channel that's enough to 10x your business by itself. My team has generated over 5 million views and driven more than $3 million for businesses across the space in just the past 2 years. And inside this video, I'll give you the exact YouTube strategy we're using to dominate entire markets. If you find this strategy life-changing and want to see how it can fit inside your business, link is in the description. But first, you need to understand that your YouTube channel's purpose is not to entertain strangers or build a personal brand. It only exists to target one specific type of person with a very specific problem who's actively looking for a specific solution that gets them to a specific outcome, and everything you publish should be built with that in mind from the very start. Your channel will fail not because your content is bad, but because you're building general purpose videos for a general purpose audience while expecting specific results, and that disconnect kills the entire system before it ever has a chance to take off. Ideally, your viewer should land on any one of your videos and immediately feel like they're in the right place because you're talking about their exact bottleneck. You're explaining the situation they're in better than they can explain it themselves, and you're walking them forward to a version of themselves that they already know they want to become. Meaning, the role of content is to shift beliefs, collapse objections, and create clarity around your offer before the call even happens. And when you structure your channel like that, everything gets easier. Understand that you're not here to be a creator. You're here to build a sales engine that runs on trust, and trust comes from being the most helpful voice in a space full of noise. When it comes to executing this vision, there are only two types of videos you need, which are one, content that brings in traffic, and two, content that converts that traffic into trust. If you can get these two parts right, you'll never worry about leads again. So how do you do that? Your traffic content should be built to generate attention from the market right now. And the best way to do that is by inserting your message into conversations that are already happening inside your niche instead of trying to create entirely new ideas or reinvent what people want to see. The first way to do this is called trendjacking, which is where you find a tool, idea, or shift that's already getting traction, like a new AI platform, and you position your video to ride the existing attention that's already built around that trend while using the body of your content to inject your offer's unique insight and value. So the viewer shows up because they recognize the title and thumbnail, but they stay because you're showing them something better than what they expected. The second method is called social jacking, which is where you pick someone who your audience already knows and trusts, like Alex Hormozi, and you break down something they said or did from your own perspective, using the trust that already exists around their name to build trust for your own voice and positioning, which allows you to borrow authority without needing to build it from scratch. And here, you're not imitating or replicating, you're showing how your offer fits into a world your viewer already understands. And that's what makes them see you as relevant before you've even said anything. But attention by itself isn't enough. So now you need to nurture that attention into belief. And this is where most creators fall off because they're addicted to the spike of dopamine from views, not the consistency of sales from precision content. Your nurturing content is what qualifies, filters, and pre-sells leads before they ever click your funnel link. And this is where you show the viewer that you actually understand how to solve their problem in a deeper, clearer, and more actionable way than you would have in a traffic gen video. You can do this in three formats: case studies, where you walk through what your client was struggling with, what the solution looked like, and what the result was. Then you have framework breakdowns, where you explain your method or system in a clear, step-by-step way, and tutorials, where you solve one narrow problem in full so that the viewer walks away with clarity, even if they don't take the next step right away. These videos are not here to go viral. They're here to get the right viewer to say, this person gets it. This is what I've been looking for. Why am I not already working with them? Because when that happens, you don't need to sell on the call. You just need to confirm that the offer fits. However, your video is initially only as valuable as the way it's packaged. If nobody clicks your video, it doesn't matter how good the content is because they'll never see it. And the single piece of advice you need to hear to learn how to package your video is this: study titles and thumbnail from videos that have already performed and apply the same packaging to your content. You go to YouTube, type in keywords that your ideal client would be searching for, then sort the videos by most viewed, and you look for the outliers, the videos that did 10 or more times better than every other video on the author's channel, because that's where you'll find your template. Now, break down that title, break down that thumbnail. Don't copy the words, copy the structure. Ask yourself what the promise is, what emotion it evokes, what curiosity it creates, and how the title and thumbnail are working together to create the outcome. Now, getting the click is the first battle, but the war is won inside the video, because if your viewer doesn't stay, they don't buy. And the best way to get them to stay is not with heavy editing or really any visuals, but with structure and flow that pulls them forward with no friction. Here's the exact structure framework we use for all of our clients' channels, resulting in retention rates as high as 40%. Start with a direct intro. Tell them what they're about to learn, why it matters for them, and what the outcome is going to be. Then immediately drop a value bomb. Not a teaser, not a story, not your background. Just something so clear, so insightful, or so helpful that it locks them in instantly and shows that this video is different. After your biggest insight, explain why should they listen to you specifically in one line. And from there, move into the main body of the content to break it down like a lesson, step by step, without detours, without padding, without ego. Just deliver the thing as efficiently and clearly as possible while always pulling the viewer toward action. Teach like it's a one-on-one call with someone who's already 90% sold. Inside the video, mention your offer 3 times, once early with a soft line like, "We do this for clients," once in the middle after they've watched for a minute or two, and once at the end with a clear CTA to book the walkthrough. The more value you give, the more trust you build. And the more trust you build, the less you need to sell. Now that you've got attention and trust, it's time to turn that into cash. The funnel I find to be most efficient is stupid simple. Create a VSL opt-in page with a headline that explains your offer and ICP, a screenshot from a VSL the viewer is opting in for, and down below put all of the case studies and client results you have. Then you have your VSL page, one short, sharp video that explains what the system is, what the offer is, and what the result is, followed by an embedded booking calendar. Then comes the back end. Once someone opts in, they should be messaged immediately. Whether by a setter or by an AI agent doesn't matter. What matters is speed, clarity, and relevance. The agent should qualify, follow up, and move them to the call. The CRM should track where they came from, what they watched, and where they dropped off, so that the system can be optimized based on data and only get better week after week. After all this, your calendar should never be empty, because the funnel is constantly filling it with leads who already know, like, and trust you. And the best thing about this is if your content is doing the educating, your conversion rate on calls jumps to 40, even 50%. So you won't even need a closer because the sale already happened inside the video. The call is just to confirm it. So if you understand how big this opportunity is, please book the call below, and we will find the best way to implement this inside your business. Even if it doesn't fit, you will still walk out with a custom roadmap for you to get from your specific situation to where you want to be.